much in discussion nowadays. So that is legal pluralism and tribal autonomy, with special reference to the sixth schedule. So now, as I've already mentioned, I belong to one of the northeastern states, Assam. So sixth schedule is covering Assam and three other states. So we'll disclose slowly what actually this sixth schedule is, how it contributes to legal pluralism, what is tribal autonomy, and is it really practicable that whatever solutions has been ensured by way of tribal autonomy, is it really practicable or is it working or achieving its objective? Slowly we'll discuss as soon as possible in 15 minutes. So I request the volunteer to please move to the next slide. Yeah, these are the brief highlights. I have already mentioned what is going to be covered. The basic concept of legal pluralism, the meaning of tribal autonomy, and the sixth schedule concept, how it is different from others, fifth schedule, and how it contributes to legal pluralism. Then all those provisions that are mentioned, and briefly about the challenges. So please next. Okay, so as we know, what is legal pluralism? Before knowing legal pluralism, let us first understand why legal pluralism is necessary. Now, if I say India is a pluralistic nation, can anyone say what does this phrase mean? India is a pluralistic nation. Yes, anyone?
Yes.
Yeah, it consists of multiple diversities, and that also from north to south, east to west, from religious to racial, from ethnicity to geographical, from cultural to linguistic, whatever possible attributes of human civilization is there. India consists diversity in each and every attribute. Now, since India is a democratic nation, it is very important that each and every section or representative of such diversity shall be given an opportunity to rule themselves or to be a part in the decision making process, which cannot be ensured through a uniform way of governance or uniform set of next slide please. Legal pluralism is simply existence of two or more legal systems within a society or within a community or any other like geographical area or something. This two or more legal system ensures diversity in the administration of law and justice. Right? So legal pluralism means simple sense, more than one legal. I am not saying laws, okay? Legal systems and laws are different. There might be number of different laws, but that might not result into a distinct system. Legal system is entire process of administration of law, enactment of law, to the enforcement of law and to the process of justice delivery. The rules, the procedures, everything will be different. Right? So there will be two distinct set of laws or more than two distinct set of laws representing or governing different communities within a particular society. So that is legal pluralism. Legal pluralism for tribal population, as I have already mentioned during the introduction, that tribal have their own set of governance, political institution that needs to be recognized because since they are also part of the democracy and more than that, they are the aboriginal community on whose land we are assumed to have occupied. Okay? So they are yes. Now before going on, again further clarification I would like to mention who is considered as tribe, for whom I am going to say this. Tribe, the word comes from a Latin phrase that is tribus. They are considered as aboriginals or adivasis, as I have already mentioned, right? They are more other parameters, you can say they are backward or like that. But in the constitution of India, the word tribe is not defined. Neither in any law of the land, the word indigenous is defined. Tribe is already mentioned in Article 366, where it says makes provisions of scheduled tribe. But by referring, next slide please. By referring to these parameters or by referring to the interpretation of the constitution, these following parameters we can assume if the particular community has, they can be considered as a tribe. So for example, the members within a particular community shall be interdependent, first criteria. But or you can to know whether a person is belonging to a tribal community or not, the members of the tribal community shall be interdependent. Okay. Second, they should be economically backward. Third, there shall be considerable geographical isolation. Okay, their area. Fourth, there are organizations or set up, but they should be dependent on institutions like Panchayat. Not Panchayat, here I am just giving you as an example. They have their own traditional political institutions. And fifth, they should be governed by customary laws. Now, important thing, the scheduled tribe will be those who are having these particular parameters in common. So, does it mean that all the original or indigenous population are covered under scheduled tribe? Category scheduled tribe or scheduled tribe, whatever way you pronounce. Does it mean that all the indigenous population are covered under the category of scheduled tribe? Or does it mean that scheduled tribe consists only the aboriginal people? Because identification of the aboriginal people as far as racial determination is concerned, it is not scientific. However, if these attributes are there in common, then that will be categorized as scheduled tribe on the basis of some evaluation and all. So, moving to the next slide. Now, after knowing who is tribal, now it is clear that we should understand what is autonomous. Autonomous is again derived from two Greek words. Autos, that means self. Nomos means governance or law. Together it sounds self-governance. Okay. So, tribal autonomy, we know how it is tribal. Now we know what is autonomy. Autonomy means self-governance. Tribal, we know those 5 parameters. Right? What are those 5 parameters? Their members should be interdependent within the community on each other. There should be considerable geographical isolation. They should be economically backward. They should have unorganized political institutions in the form of traditional institutions, and fifth one was that they should be governed by customary laws. So they are tribal. Now for preservation of these customary laws, traditional institutions, and for empowerment of their economically backward status, they are being provided with the right to rule themselves or self-governance. But remember, this is not self-determination. I am only saying self-governance, right to rule themselves. The law is providing them that much capacity, and this is called tribal autonomy. Next slide. So tribal autonomy under the Constitution of India is ensured by two most important parts, that is the 5th schedule of the Constitution and the 6th schedule of the Constitution. Okay, we'll go in detail what is the basic difference between 5th schedule and 6th schedule. Question might anyway come up. Why this difference is there? What is unique in 6th schedule? Why the government has made this division? Right. So 5th schedule provides for those states other than 4 important states: Meghalaya, Tripura, Mizoram. Other than these 4 states, in whichever states there will be tribal majority or tribal population, as per the orders of or recommendation of the President of India, that particular state or that particular area will come within the 5th schedule. After 5th schedule, there is 6th schedule. These 4 states that I have already mentioned, Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura, Mizoram, will be governed by the 6th schedule. Next slide, please. So, basic difference. So, already I have mentioned, consists of states. The 5th schedule consists of states other than Assam, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Tripura, that are Chhattisgarh, like Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Orissa. In 6th schedule, Assam, Mizoram, Tripura, Meghalaya are the 4 states. Second, in President of India is responsible to designate areas under 5th schedule, while in 6th schedule, Government of India, Governor of each state, these 4 states, has a wider power in declaration of autonomous district councils. Now, this is very important term. Now, when I say autonomous district council, in 5th schedule, only provisions relating to organization of tribal advisory council is there. That will advise on the matters related to tribal welfare. Tribal Advisory Council is provided on the 5th schedule. But if you move to 6th schedule, there is a provision of Autonomous District Council, ADCs in short. Autonomous District Councils, I will explain, that is the basic difference, what is Autonomous District Council, how it works. and how it contributes to the legal pluralism. I will explain that. In fifth schedule, there is very less autonomy. Only advisory councils will be constituted. In sixth schedule, there is very high autonomy. How high autonomy? Because autonomous district councils are there. What does this autonomous district council does? What this autonomous district council all about? We'll discuss slowly. Next slide. Before that, why this sixth schedule was there? See, this sixth schedule was incorporated in the Constitution of India due to the recommendation of Bellary Committee that was headed by Honorable Mr. Gopinath Bellary, the then Chief Minister of Assam. So he recommended certain areas to be designated and to have some special provisions because these northeastern tribes, they are not like the other tribes in India. They are having a complete different world of attachment. You cannot streamline them, you cannot assimilate them. Their culture is totally different. Their civilization is totally different. Now, to protect those civilizations, because their way of life contributes to the cultural diversity of the nation, that is again the civilization of the nation. It was necessary to give some autonomy, because if they are brought within the structure of the union and central legislation, that particular autonomy will not be of any use. Their culture would have been degenerated. So to ensure that their culture is preserved, the traditional way of life is preserved, they should be given minimum autonomy, and for this separate sixth schedule was incorporated. How it contributes to legal pluralism? Now the big question. It contributes to legal pluralism because, it provides for a different set of governance. It provides for a different set of governance, complete different legislative framing process, complete adjudication process, very different from rest of the India. So I will go in how it is different. Next slide please. So, sixth schedule of Constitution of India, the provisions are listed in Article 244, 2 and 275, 1. Now, before that I will also mention that there is another division, that is Assam and Tripura are considered as tribal minority states, while Mizoram and Meghalaya are considered as tribal majority states. Now this means it is very rare in number, while in Mizoram and Meghalaya the tribal population is very high. The six schedule provisions are there under Article 244, 2 of the Constitution and 275, 1. Next slide please. These are the autonomous districts. In Assam there are 3 autonomous districts. In Meghalaya there are 3 autonomous districts. Part 2 deals with Meghalaya. Part 2A deals with Tripura with 1 autonomous district, and Part 3 deals with Mizoram. Next slide please. These are the different autonomous district councils correspond to those autonomous districts. Okay. Next slide. Okay. Now, how this autonomous district council is different? See. In India, we have parliament, right? Legislature, executive, and then we have judiciary. In states, we have Vidhan Sabha, Vidhan Parishad in some of the states, bicameral legislature. I hope you understand. In tribal autonomous district council, we have general council, executive council, and village council. General Council is a supreme law-making body in the autonomous district council. Each autonomous district council will be having separate. That means now see constitution within constitution. That is what it is called. Now this General Council will be in previously I told you the different autonomous district council. In each, suppose in Assam there are 3 autonomous district council: Karbi Angalam Autonomous District Council, Dimasa Autonomous District Council, and Boroland Territorial Area District. All these 3 will have 3 different general council, and they will be making laws only for their own respective district. Second, we have this executive council, like we have executive in the central level, bureaucracy is there. Similarly, we have executive council here who will execute the laws made by the general council in its autonomous district council. Third, we have village council. Now this is not judiciary, okay, but they performs the function of some judiciary function. This village council is responsible to administer customary laws at the village level. there will be one committee called Village Council Development Committees, VCDCs, in each village. That will be coordinated by the Executive Council. VCDC will also take into consideration the roles and functions done by the panchayats. Panchayats, you know, no? That Gram Sabhas and all. So adjudication functions according to the traditions of the tribal population will be taken out by the village council. So this is the prime difference between the another set of rules. So next slide please. Some examples of laws that are being enacted by the General Council in first one is Assam, then Meghalaya, then Mizoram, then Tripura. These are some, only few. They are making hundreds of laws. This is completely like a parliamentary structure only. These are some examples. So I'm just coming to the end of this presentation. Next slide. Okay. Challenges. Now this is the basic point of discussion. First thing, there is very much inconsistency within the structure and institutional framework of this autonomous district council, because they cannot be independent. First thing, and they are supposed to, when this autonomous district councils were made, it was not only made to preserve their autonomy but also to empower these tribal communities. But the parameters to measure their empowerment is based on the perception of the non-tribals. Like for example, in your family, if there is one, suppose in entire kingship, if there is one family who doesn't go to school or who did not go to school, we'll consider them as underdeveloped. But if you refer to the same situation with tribal people, they already has their ancestral knowledge. They have some certain knowledge which is much more effective than our modern knowledge system. They know how to utilize natural resources, but we don't consider their knowledge as a factor to measure development. That is one structural and institutional difference. So whenever some welfare schemes will come to this autonomous district council, they will be implemented not on the basis of their potential, but on the basis of how we take development should be. Second, see now, without financial independence, you cannot ensure any autonomy. Although they have the powers of management and administration of law, this NECs doesn't have the power to appropriate tax. Tax appropriation means whatever resources they have, they cannot impose tax on those. They don't have that power. That power again rests with the state power, the government. Now when this power is not with them, they have resources but they cannot have financial income. What is the use of autonomy then? Because of this lack of financial income for this district council, they are again politically dependent on the major political parties. Like in the central level, whatever politicians are there, political parties are there. So to gain vote banks or to accumulate their support, they used to influence this village council development committees or executive councils, right? So if they support one political party, the political party after winning the election will be essentially more amount of money, and they will be facing welfare in the notions of how non-tribal population think welfare is. Surprisingly, what they used to do in most cases, since these are innocent people, they are very much different from the mainland politics. They doesn't know what they will do. Some of the educated or literate tribal people, I won't say literate, educated. Literacy and education is very different. Some of the educated tribal people will be influenced or will be collected or will be informed by the political parties, major political parties. They will be working as nodal agencies, and then that welfare strategies will be distributed according to the political support. This is one thing which is called political interference. As I have already mentioned to you, financial hardships. Why financial hardship is there? They don't have the power, they don't have the autonomy to appropriate tax. Next, there are social barriers. Tribal people, they are also facing lack of unity. All tribal population one, but this is not true. Within tribal tribes, within one community there are sub-tribes. Next you see homogeneous framework for heterogeneous population. Assam, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Tripura, all these states are different. Like in South India you have Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, right? Kerala is there, Andhra Pradesh is there. All are different. They have their own internal conflicts, they have their own different existence. But this autonomous district councils have been incorporated the perception that all these four states are same. Same amount of treatment. under the within the particular state there is heterogeneous existence that is being ignored. What is heterogeneous? Diversity is still there within the community itself that has been ignored. So that creates tribal resentment when you compare one tribe with the other and can tell that both are equal. This will definitely happen in all parts of India, but here it is more. Next, I have already told you the perception, wrong perceptions of tribal welfare. Going to school for a tribal child is not welfare for that child. Preserving their own indigenous knowledge through which they survive generations to generations, sustainability, that is what knowledge actually means for them. Now, if a snake bites any one of us, we will run to the hospital and in the way we might die. But these tribal people, in most of the northeastern place, they won't die. They know how to recover from the snake without even going to the hospital. Their medicinal process is very effective. You see, in Meghalaya now research is going on. They even doesn't believe in doctors and all. Yes, there are some fake news, that's a different thing. But they have these traditional practices. So you are perceiving them wrongly. They think that giving them autonomy means giving them welfare policies through which they can enroll in education and all. No, that is not the correct answer. So these are the major challenges of this legal pluralism as far as tribal autonomy is concerned. Next slide. So I will be leaving this presentation with three most important questions. First one, does tribal empowerment of the tribal empowerment, does it mean necessarily empowerment of tribal in real sense? Because I have already told you, wrong sense of perception. Whatever we will do for the empowerment of tribal population, will it definitely empower the tribal? Because if you ask them to come to the modern educational institutions and strictly modern education, then how will it cause empowerment when they lose their own traditional history, traditional knowledge? Right? This is just an example. In all other sense, same thing will prevail. You are sacrificing, you are compromising the traditional institution in the name of organized political institutions like autonomous district councils. Second, is autonomy really granted? Are they really granted autonomy? That is one question which you can debate and do research upon this thing. Third, whether any kind of autonomy, legal autonomy, will be efficient enough if there is no financial and political independence. Why I said this, I have already mentioned in the sentences. They neither have financial independence nor they have political independence. Today in Boroland territorial area district, again BJP is ruling. Okay. So again in Karbi Angalam, everything, although there is autonomous district council, political party are those who are aligned with the national party. So are they having any political existence in the demography of India or the politics of India? That is one question. So without political independence, is it possible to have any kind of legal autonomy? That's all from my side. I hope I could have contributed to some extent to our discourse of discussion where legal pluralism, I have tried to give a different aspect of legal pluralism. So with this, if any question is there, you may please forward. Anyone having any question? Or did you even understand what I was trying to say? That is my question. No? So you can do research on this if you want to further proceed, because there are some problem I have already stated. If you can bring on any innovative solutions. Any question for other, any clarification? If no, then I suppose we can start with the paper presentation. Thank you. Yes, yes.
You are so you work on Eastern India. So what are your point of Manipur disputes, sir? In legal court?
See, first thing, this is out of the context because Manipur is not covered under 6th schedule. Anyway, you made a valid question. See, that is what I was trying to say. Political interferences. Whatever you see what is happening in the northeastern states, always remember one thing. It might be your position that you are not able to link out the situation with politics, but there is politics. There is politics because in Manipur, as far as I know, there were conflicts between the population residing in the plain areas and population residing in the hill areas. Hill areas populations, I would say who are tribals and who are not, that will be controversy again. Because as I have told you, tribe means they are assumed to be aboriginals and non-tribals, they are assumed to be outsiders. But there is no racial identification for DNA testing or something like that, so you cannot make a hard and fast definition. What I am going to suggest, two different groups are there. They were having rivalry since inception because Manipur was an independent kingdom. It is not within the territory of India's kingdom. But after it SSM with the Indian, many changes were brought into the demography of the Manipur. Slowly, this thing came up. Because you see, when you say to Northeast, until last 10-15 years ago, this region having huge potential, were heavily discriminated by the, I won't say which part of the country, but anyway, that is, politics was done there. So they were already agitated. So when this conflict was there, slowly, it was again intensified. So this kind of conflicts, although it's not covered in my subject, I just try to throw small light on it. I hope it is okay. Thank you.
Sir, one more question. There is one more question there.
Sir,
Yes, sir.
legal pluralism is endangered to the nationalism. All are equality before the law. But why exempted from the equality before the law? Some religions, some particularly Waqf and Muslim women. Why unnecessary plural legal system in India? Plural legal system is, I think, that endangered to the nationalism. How to compromise, how to exist as one nation?
Very good question. I should appreciate this question. It's a very nice question. It's a very conceptual question. Now, yes, since I mentioned the very first thing, that pluralistic nation. Unlike any other Western country where the population is more homogeneous, India is a kind of heterogeneous population. And the biggest problem in India, that how this territory of India was formed. It was not a single nation ever in the history, although we say Akhand Bharat. All the communities by way of treaties of accession, by way of merger, even you see Sikkim, what promise was made to Sikkim when they integrated with India? What promise was made to Jammu and Kashmir? Why Article 370 was there? These questions raised into the history, how India was formed. India was not formed like a territory like USA or any other country of the West. India formed with multiple diversities and diversified provisions. Yes, equal protection or equality before law. Equality before law does not necessarily mean that all people should be having equal status. It means, something called distribution with due, right? We have reservation, we have other provisions. Now, if a person, suppose there is a race, I'm just trying to make an example. There is a race between 10 people, right? And all the people were ready, but 2 out of that 10 could not come because of the fault of the organizer itself. They were not given proper. Now the other 8 people, they were heavily pressed up. They could run and they could win. These other 2 people, what will it be justified if because of the fault of the organizer they are not able to run in the race? Or in the other sense, because of no fault of them, they are not suffering in the race. So equality means, there should be some progressive inequality also. Like for example, there are these status, but yes, again one question will be there. To what extent to justify this progressive inequality? To the extent that has been provided only by Supreme Court in number of cases that intelligible differential, reasonable access, and this rule against arbitrariness. So when you are making an objective, suppose you are providing reservation to scheduled tribe to promote them. Now what mechanism you are adopting? If the mechanism you are adopting is reservation to educational institution, so next question will be, will that mechanism is having any nexus with the objective? Objective was what? To promote scheduled tribe. So this is reasonable nexus. You are differentiating scheduled tribe from the rest of the country because scheduled tribe, I have already discussed, they are the parameters, they are having customary laws, economically backward, comparatively geographical isolation. So this justifies. So therefore, the difference between scheduled tribe and the other population is an intelligible difference here. Next, whenever you take any decision like that, that should be backed by certain reasons. That is justified, reasonable. Rule against arbitrariness. That is the difference that has been made. That is not arbitrary. Similarly, existing of different laws, as you have rightly mentioned, they qualify these three parameters, that is intelligible differential, reasonable nexus, and rule against arbitrariness. These three tests, if they qualify, then I think it is not anti-national. It is rather promotion of some disadvantaged sections so that they can come up and contest with the other advantageous section. And the reason why tribal autonomy has been given a different legal setup is only because it was their native land, assumed to be native land. We coming out from outside, we dominating them, and after dominating them, we are saying now we will rule you. That is why this legal setup is there. And second most practical thing, this is theoretical. Practically, if you don't do this, tomorrow India will forget about being anti-national. Tomorrow this national identity will not be there. All people will start hesitating, separatists. That is why right to self-determination will be again question. I hope your question. Any more questions?
Any question, madam? Sir, thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Sir, thank you for presenting the relevant topic for Vikasita Bharat Acquisition Participants.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
Sir, now the presentation of paper session will start. As we having 22 participants due to time limit, and as you all know that 4 o'clock later function is there. So I am requesting all participants to take a photo of 5 minutes to the present paper because it will help others to other participants to present their topics. So first I will call you Prakash D. Prakash D. Dr. Hanmantarji and Srimati Gayatri, Dr. Bhavanesh Srinivas Rao, Dr. Shiv Kumar, is there anybody? Dr. Bhima M. Sai Ankita Reddy. Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon to one and all present here. I am Sai Ankita Reddy, Department of Political Science, PG student, Vijayanagar Shri Krishna Deva Raya University, Bellary. I am here to present my research study on the topic Vision Viksit Bharat at 2047. First of all, I would like to thank the seminar organizing committee for giving me this great opportunity to present the paper in a national seminar. I am going to present the paper titled Review on Roadmap of Indian Government's Initiatives for Viksit Bharat at 2047. Viksit Bharat at 2047 is a historical milestone in India's vision to be a developed country by its centenary of independence in 2047. So this is a recent initiative by the government of India. So I have studied some of the initiatives of the government briefly that can prove to be helpful in achieving this great milestone. So the Viksit Bharat agenda is a comprehensive vision plan by the government of India aiming to transform India into a developed nation by the year 2047. Marking the 100th anniversary of its independence. It is a transformative roadmap that emphasizes the importance of a united effort towards a prosperous future of the country. This prosperous future of the country, Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi, in his address to the nation from the ramparts of the Red Fort on the eve of 78th Independence Day, emphasized on the government's commitment for Viksit Bharat. In line with this, the Indian government has undertaken many initiatives in all sectors to achieve this goal. Some of the sectors which I will focus on include the economic growth, social equity, global competitiveness, environmental sustainability, and technological advancements. The methodology of my study is, as this is a recent initiative by the Government of India, my research is totally based on the secondary data sources which include both qualitative as well as quantitative data. So secondary data was sourced from government websites, government reports, media publications, newspaper articles, studies and surveys from some of the recruited institutions across India. So here are some of the key initiatives by the government of India. The first sector that I would like to focus on is economic growth. So under this, the first initiative I would like to mention is Make in India. It is an initiative to encourage companies to develop and manufacture products in India and promote India as a global hub for production. Next.
Madam, if you don't mind presenting the conclusion or any findings on your topic.
Sir, I just named the initiatives
And okay, thank you. You have only 3 minutes left to you.
So under the economic growth, I would like to mention some of the initiatives. Make in India, Atmanirbhar Bharat, Startup India, Production Linked Initiative Scheme, the Smart Cities Mission, Amrut, the Atal Mission for Regeneration and Urban Transformation, PM Gati Shakti Scheme, Bharatmala and Sagarmala Pariyojana. Under the governance, the minimum government, maximum governance, Mission Karmayogi, CP grants and Good Governance Index. Another theme, social welfare, it's PM Awas Yojana, Jal Jeevan Mission, Ayushman Bharat, Swachh Bharat Mission, Ujjwala Yojana, PM Garib Kalyan Yojana. So under the theme education and skill development, the National New Education Policy NEP, Skill India Mission, PM E-Vidya and Diksha. To specifically on technological advancements is Digital India, BharatNet, ONDC, UPI, 5G rollout, direct benefit transfer, JAM Trinity, e-codes, investment in artificial intelligence, MyGov, DigiLocker, Arogya Setu, FastTag, PM Kisan app, etc. On environmental sustainability, International Solar Alliance, PM Kusum scheme, FAME scheme, Namami Gange, National Afforestation Program, Project Tiger and Project Elephant, eco-sensitive zones and biodiversity conservation. In the Union Budget 2025-26, the Finance Minister of India, in her budget speech, emphasized on the aspiration for Viksit Bharat, which inspires the government to march towards transformation in various sectors. In line with this, the Viksit Bharat encompasses zero poverty, 100% good quality education, access to high quality, affordable and comprehensive healthcare, 100% skilled labor with meaningful employment, 70% women in economic activities, farmers making our country the food basket of the world. Now I would like to highlight some of the issues in implementing these government schemes. They are government and administrative and governance challenges such as bureaucratic red tape, lack of accountability and transparency, frequent policy changes, corruption, and lack of synchronization between central, state and local governments. The implementation process is also strained by budgetary limitations, fund misallocation and delayed fund disbursement. Lack of physical infrastructure including both economic and social infrastructure, lack of skilled workforce to properly execute the schemes at all levels. The Skill India Report 2024 indicate that around 60% of the workforce area lacks relevant skills for manufacturing jobs, emphasizing on skill development deficiencies. Lack of awareness and resistance to change hinders the successful implementation of the government schemes, sustainable development and inclusive development for other major issues. Digital divide and risk to cyber security threats are some of the technological challenges faced by administrators in the implementation process of these government schemes. The suggestions that have for the better implementation of the government schemes are strengthening governance and administration through citizen-centric administration and enhance citizen participation in governance, strengthening federal structure of the country through devolution of powers and finances up to local levels, technology as a tool to ensure transparency, accountability and efficiency, sufficient allocation and time disbursement of finances to various schemes can be a way forward. Developing last mile connectivity, which must include road connectivity, electricity and internet penetration to to address infrastructural challenges in the country. Citizen-led mentoring, feedback and public surveys can also act as a solution for those issues such as corruption and bureaucratic red tapeism. Skill development programs at regular intervals for all the stakeholders can be a real-time solution to ensure human resource capabilities. To conclude my paper, Viksit Bharat envisions a self-reliant, technologically advanced and economically strong India that ensures inclusive growth, sustainability and global leadership. Achieving this goal requires a collective effort from the government, industries and citizens focusing in innovation, infrastructure, education, healthcare and environmental sustainability. By harnessing India's demographic dividend, digital transformation and strong policy framework, the nation can emerge as a global superpower. The path toward developed India lies in sustained economic reforms, social inclusivity and strategic international collaborations. If pursued with dedication, Viksit Bharat can become a reality, ensuring prosperity and a better quality of life for all citizens. Thank you and all.
Any questions? Now I will call Shashikala T. Dr. Kumar.
Good afternoon everyone. Myself Shashikala T, research scholar under the guidance of Dr. Kumar, Department of Social Work, Vijayanagar Sri Krishna Devara University, Bellary. The article explores how grassroots social work services create vital connections between social equality, progress and economic participation and education advancement. The article supports the importance of grassroots initiatives for community empowerment as the essential approach towards achieving the national vision by using real-world data and case studies to make its arguments. The framework for Viksit Bharat 2047 includes economic growth and industrialization, social inclusion and equity, technological and digital advancement, grassroots development and community participation, environmental sustainability, health and education reforms. The government executes its objectives by running 4 multi-sectoral initiatives named Digital India, Make in India, Skill India and Ayushman Bharat. Implementation of development programs at grassroots level succeeded through partnership formed between NGOs and private enterprises as well as international organizations. Implementations of Viksit Bharat 2047 requires local empowerment as well as modernized policies and worldwide benchmark adoption to establish a self-reliant and sustainable country. Objectives of the paper: to analyze the role of grassroots social work in empowering communities, to explore the impact of community development on India's progress towards Viksit Bharat 2047, to evaluate key policies and interventions supporting community empowerment, to present statistical evidence showcasing the effectiveness of grassroots initiatives. Conclusion: community empowerment remains a cornerstone of Viksit Bharat 2047. The grassroots social work servicing as a crucial drivers of inclusive development. Statistical evidence supports the effectiveness of localized interventions in enhancing economic participation, strengthening governance, and improving access to essential services. Moving forward, targeted policies, interventions, increased funding, and technology-driven solutions will be essential to accelerated progresses. By prioritizing community empowerment, India can achieve its vision of becoming a globally competitive and socially equitable nation by 2047. Thank you.
Next person, Dr. Hassan Imam. Dr. Basuraj Vimalai. Shruti B. Hussein Bashar. Manjula B.
Sustainable chili farming in local economy for Viksit Bharat. Introduction. Sustainable chili farming plays a crucial role in shaping a resilient and eco-friendly agricultural landscape while contributing significantly to the local economy. As India works towards the vision of a Viksit Bharat, promoting sustainable agriculture practices becomes essential to not only improve productivity but also preserve natural resources for future generations. Objectives of the paper: to promoting organic agriculture in chili farming for sustainable growth, to boost local economy and employment. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವಿಕಸಿತ್ ಭಾರತ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಈ ಲೋಕಲ್ ಎಕನಾಮಿಯಿಂದಾನೇ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಗ್ರಿಕಲ್ಚರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಚಿಲ್ಲಿ ಫಾರ್ಮಿಂಗ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಒಂದು ರಿಚ್ ಕ್ರಾಪ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಈ ರಿಚ್ ಕ್ರಾಪ್ ಇಂದ ಫಾರ್ಮರ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಫಾರ್ಮರ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಅವ್ರ ಜೀವನಾಧಾರ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದರಿಂದ ನಮ್ದು ವಿಲೇಜ್ ಇಂಪ್ರೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ತಾಲೂಕು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಡಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ. ಈ ರೀತಿ ಚಿಲ್ಲಿ ಫಾರ್ಮಿಂಗ್ ಇಂದ ನಮ್ಮ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, GDPನೂ ಗ್ರೋತ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಸಸ್ಟೈನಬಲ್ ಚಿಲ್ಲಿ ಫಾರ್ಮಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ಏನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆಗಿನ ನಮ್ದು ಸಾಯಿಲ್ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಮತ್ತೆ ಬೂಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ದ ಲೋಕಲ್ ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಚಿಲ್ಲಿ ಫಾರ್ಮಿಂಗ್ ಇಂದ ಅನೇಕ ರೈತರಿಗೆ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಾನು ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಮತ್ತೆ ಎಕನಾಮಿಕಲಿ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗ್ ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತಾನು ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇನಿಷಿಯೇಟಿವ್ಸ್: ಪ್ರಧಾನ ಮಂತ್ರಿ ಕೃಷಿ ಸಿಂಚಾಯಿ ಯೋಜನೆ, ಸಾಯಿಲ್ ಹೆಲ್ತ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಸ್ಕೀಮ್, ಪ್ರಧಾನ ಮಂತ್ರಿ ಫಸಲ್ ಬೀಮ್ ಯೋಜನೆ, ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಅಗ್ರಿಕಲ್ಚರ್ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ಮಿಷನ್ ಫಾರ್ ಇಂಟಿಗ್ರೇಟೆಡ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಹಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಚರ್. Finally, conclusion: sustainable chili farming holds immense potential in transforming local economics while promoting environmentally friendly agriculture practices. By encouraging organic farming techniques, farmers can enhance soil health, reduce dependency on harmful chemical inputs, and improve the quality of their produce, leading to better market prices. Thank you.
Next participant Harish Kumar. Next Manjunath KH. Manjunath NG. Kavita. Mr. Yuvraj. Bhimeshappa Muttapur. Jagdish Dutt. Jagdish. Anoji Krishna Reddy. Thank you.
Good evening everyone. My topic is impact of government programs on FDI and exports of India. Exports of India. Presently we can see that all we have discussed about social, political things and legal things. But I am explaining in the end term because we are talking about the vikas. We are talking about the vikas. The concept is vikas. But we are in the economy, we can explain about in economical model, monetary model, or developmental concepts. So most of the activities will come under the economic concern. Even we are from the economy, we are in the society, everyone was running behind of the money, vitamin M. Everyone running behind the vitamin M. So, and my topic is export. Because why? Because export means even smart, local government or state government or national government, we can make an improvement in the exporting activities. If we are done in the exporting activities, we will only consider it as a more profitable. If otherwise we can import, our economy will be go to different activities. So therefore exporting we are mainly focusing on the large amount of developmental activities. Therefore the exporting activities. We are mainly concentrated on the to increase the exporting activities. In this slide, the country-wise FDI projects mainly for the FDI in the research and development activities science. We first we will concentrate on STEM. Even in the budget, we can announce that STEM: science, technology, engineering, and medical, because they are only their main things. They are only concentrate on research and development activities, because most of the production activities will come under the, and we can generate the future activities also. Even for example, science and technology, present AI model, medicines, whatever we will produce, that will come from the research and development. At present, what about I think not only generating the economical activities, but also we should be thinking about the social activities. But mainly the economy presently was concentrating on the economical activities for making their economy only, and overall, but not a public. And also government is running behind the increasing the GDP growth rate, not a per capita income, but not a per capita income. Therefore, I am concentrating on how it was running. So we can observe that blue line as a particularly explaining about the FDI, foreign direct investment activities in research and development across the world. It is the main aim that they are mainly concentrating on India only. Because it was India's GDP growth rate is high. Most of the exporters at present, every year 80 lakh people we will export for the foreign countries. Who are exporting for education purpose. It means resource persons. We are exporting a resource person. They are mainly from the STEM, science, technology, engineering, and medical. 80 lakh people. So it means we are focusing on India. Other countries are mainly focusing on India to for the research and developmental activities. Other than that, they are investing most of in US, UK, Spain, and as it is. So that was we are observing from in the before 2014 we can observe that Congress government it means, and after that 2014 we can observe that BJP government. So before that we can observe the concentration of R&D activities was less than 2010 and 2014 we can observe that very less investmental activities, and after that in 2015 and until now, and 2015 it was increasing, but particularly I have mentioned 2018 and 2023, 2024. 2018 also it was increasing. 2024 it was also amount of R&D expenditure was increasing. So particularly for the by estimating the CAGR, compound annual growth rate of for only 10 years. Only for 10 years. From the last 10 years, India was grown 26.6%. 26.6%. In the amount, we can see that in the first line, Indian 2015, 2019, and 2022, only southern India. Southern states were getting more FDI RDI, but in the growth rate after 2015, particularly the government was concentrating on Bihar states. Bihar, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, West Bengal, even Jammu and Kashmir. So we can observe that there is a growth. We can observe that similarly. First we can observe that Jammu and Kashmir, second in Punjab, third in Uttarakhand. So it was slightly increasing. It is not only concentrating on developed states, we are also concentrating on underdeveloped states also. Next. And this is what we can observe that because. So because underdeveloped states, and also from the 2015, 2016 until 2022, amount of 21.47. It means our nation's patents has been increasing because STEM, science, technology, engineering, and medical were generating more patents. And other than that, first line, 62.60% was observed from the foreign R&D activities, R&D patent activities. Next. This is what where we are. India is exporting 5% of its R&D activities, exporting without getting any imports in the R&D. But it was involving with the other countries. It was involving with the other countries, but it was not importing more. But compared to other countries, we are better, I think, because we are not importing more activities. Next. So my studies particularly focus on secondary data. It was collected from different economical perspective activities, economical activities, variables which are inflation, exchange rate, purchasing power, productive capacity index, global innovation index, and GDP. Some other variables has been collected from the World Bank, OECD, UNESCO, IMF, RBI, different variables. So I have been estimated the simple statistics. Firstly, descriptive statistics, correlation. New West model has been estimated for the generalized least square estimate because of only for New West model, because of we can reduce the bias errors by estimating the hack model. New West is nothing but a hack. Hack means heterogeneity, autocorrelation, and multicollinearity. So we can reduce these errors by estimating the hack model, and those are estimated using the softwares of SAS, SQL, IML, and the maps are generated from the QGIS. So this is the model I have been mentioned here. By estimating the correlation activities, we can observe that for different across the world, we can observe that developed economies were particularly mentioned in blue lines, and LDCs, green lines, low level of other less developed countries, and some other underdeveloping activities. Those are experiencing particularly significant correlation between the amount of growth and their exporting activities. And this is the simple statistics. I have been used the various different variables for the estimations of the model. So that because this correlation was particularly for the India, it means it was explaining the higher correlations between the positive variables or upper variables are showing a higher positive correlation, and below lower variables are showing higher negative correlation. So this is my regression function. I have been estimated using the hack model. Here all variables are significantly correlated, and also that dependent variable export of trade activities was showing the R square value is 99.9% significant. It means 99.9% significance of the fit. Model fitness 99.9%. Our model is fitness of fit was 99.9%. And finally, I conclude that so overall India and other countries were running behind the economical activities for the national level. It means GDP, GNP. So they were looking about this GDP, GNP. What I suggest is when the per capita income, each person's income level increases, their economic status increases, political status increases, social status increases, then only we can say that it is a Vikasi. Otherwise, it is not an Vikasi. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the presentation. The next to participant is Anoji Krishna Reddy.
ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಬಹಳ ವಿಶೇಷವಾಗಿ ನಮ್ಮದು ಪರ್ಫಾರ್ಮಿಂಗ್ ಆರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ವಿಭಾಗ. ನಾವು ನಾಟಕ ವಿಭಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಬೀದಿ ನಾಟಕ ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಂದು ವಿಷಯ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು, ಅಂದರೆ ನಾಟಕದ ಮೂಲಕ ಸಂವಿಧಾನದ ಆಶಯಗಳನ್ನು ಮತ್ತು ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕ ಜಾಗೃತಿಯನ್ನು ನಾವು ಹೇಗೆ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯತೆ ಇದೆ ಅನ್ನೋ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಾನು ಈ ಪೇಪರ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಬಂದಿರೆಂದು ಕೇಳಬಹುದು ನೀವು, ಜನರ ನಡುವೆ ನಿಂದ ಎಂದು ಹೇಳತೇವೆ ನಾವು. ಮತ್ತೆ ಪಯಣ ಎಲ್ಲಿಗೆಂದು ಕೇಳಬಹುದು ನೀವು, ತಿರುಗಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಜನರ ಬಳಿಗೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೇವೆ ನಾವು. ಸೊ ಅಂದರೆ ಆ ಹಾಡಲ್ಲಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸಾಹಿತ್ಯದ ಸಾಲುಗಳು ನಮಗೆ ಬೇಗ ರೀಚ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತವೆ. ಅವಾಗ ನಾವೆಷ್ಟೇ ಉಪನ್ಯಾಸ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಕೂಡ ಜನರಿಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋದು ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿಕಲ್. ಸೊ ಅಂದರೆ ನಾವು ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಅಂದರೆ ವಾಸ್ತವಾಂಶಗಳನ್ನು ಜನರಿಗೆ ತೆರೆದಿಡ್ತಾ ಹೋದಾಗ ಮಾತ್ರ ಜನರು ಜಾಗೃತಿ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯತೆ ಇದೆ. ನಿನ್ನೆ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಸರ್ ಹೇಳಿದರು, ಮನುಷ್ಯನ ಮನಸ್ಸು ಬದಲಾಗದೆ ಜಗತ್ತಿನ ಯಾವ ವಿಷಯಗಳು ಬದಲಾಗಲ್ಲ ಅಂತೇಳಿ. ಅದಷ್ಟು ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ಸತ್ಯ ಕೂಡ ಅದು. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ನನ್ನಿಂದನೇ ಶುರು ಆಗಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ. ನನಗೇನು ಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ? ಸಂವಿಧಾನದ ಹಕ್ಕು ಮತ್ತು ಕರ್ತವ್ಯಗಳನ್ನು ಹೇಗೆ ಪಾಲನೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ನಾನು ಅಳವಡಿಸಿಕೊಂಡಾಗ ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಬರಿಗೆ ಗೈಡ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯತೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಅಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಜಾಗೃತಿ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಅಂಶಗಳನ್ನ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ನಿಟ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯತೆ ಇದೆ. 70ರ ದಶಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಭೂ ಸುಧಾರಣೆ ಕಾಯ್ದೆ, ವರದಕ್ಷಿಣೆ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ, ಕೌಟುಂಬಿಕ ಕಲಹಗಳು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಮತದಾನ ಚುನಾವಣೆ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಬಂದಾಗ ಬಾಲ್ಯ ವಿವಾಹ, ಜೀತ ಪದ್ಧತಿ, ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ವಿಷಯಗಳನ್ನ ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೆ ರಂಗಭೂಮಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಬೀದಿ ನಾಟಕದ ಮೂಲಕ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಆಗ ಟಿ ವಿಗಳಿದ್ದಿಲ್ಲ, ನಮಗೆ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಮೀಡಿಯಾಗಳು ವಾಟ್ಸಪ್ ಯಾವುದೂ ಇದ್ದಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಅವಾಗ ನಮಗೆ ಇಡೀ ಅವಿಭಾಜ್ಯ ಅಂಗವಾಗಿ ಸಂವಿಧಾನದ ಆಶಯಗಳನ್ನು ಮುಟ್ಟಿಸಿದ್ದು ಬೀದಿ ನಾಟಕ. ಸೊ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಹಲವಾರು ಪ್ರಕಾರಗಳನ್ನ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಪ್ರಜಾಪ್ರಭುತ್ವ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆ ಹಕ್ಕು ಮತ್ತು ಕರ್ತವ್ಯ ಚುನಾವಣೆ ಸಂದರ್ಭ ಬಂದಾಗ ನಾವು ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬರು ಮತದಾನ ಮಾಡಲೇಬೇಕು. ಮತದಾನ ಹೇಗೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಯಾರು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋ ವಿಷಯಗಳನ್ನ ಸರ್ಕಾರದಲ್ಲಿ ಈಗ ಇತ್ತೀಚೆಗೆ ಟಿವಿ ಒಳಗೆ ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಮೊದಲು ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ವಿ, ಚುನಾವಣೆ ಇದು ಚುನಾವಣೆ ಆಯೋಗದ ಸಂದೇಶ, ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬರು ತಪ್ಪದೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಮತದಾನ, 18ರ ಯುವತಿ ಮತದಾನ ಮಾಡಲು ಸದವಕಾಶ ನಿಮಗಿದವೇ ಮತದಾನ ಮಾಡಲು. ಸೊ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಹಾಡುಗಳಿಗೆ ಜನ ಸೇರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಮನೆ ಮನೆಗೂ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ. ಬೀದಿ ನಾಟಕ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಡೀ ಮನೆ ಮುಂದೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಗುಂಪಲ್ಲಿ ಜನರಿಗೆ ಬಾಯಿಗೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ನಾಟಕ ಆಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ರೀಚ್ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಸಮಾಜದ ಅವಿಭಾಜ್ಯ ಅಂಗವಾಗಿ ರಂಗಭೂಮಿ ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ವಿಷಯದಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ಲಾ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಕನ್ನಡ ವಿಭಾಗ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಪೊಲಿಟಿಕಲ್ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ವಿಭಾಗ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಇವತ್ತು ಪೊಲಿಟಿಕಲ್ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಸಂವಿಧಾನದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಪಾಠ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ. ಎಷ್ಟು ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟ್ಗಳನ್ನು ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯತೆ ಇದೆ ಅವರು. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಸಣ್ಣ ಸಣ್ಣ ರೂಪಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟಿಗೆ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟ್ ಅಭಿನಯ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ನಾವು ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟ್ಗಳಿಗೆ. ಸೊ ಆ ಥರ ಸಿದ್ಧಾಂತಗಳನ್ನ ನಾವು ಶಿಕ್ಷಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಳವಡಿಸಿದಾಗ ಅತಿ ವೇಗವಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಆಗೋಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯತೆ ಇದೆ. ಇಲ್ಲದಿದ್ರೆ ಪುಸ್ತಕ, ಎಕ್ಸಾಮು, ಇಂಟರ್ನಲ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟು, ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟರ್ನಲ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮುಗಿತು. ಸೊ ಅಂಕದ ಆಧಾರದ ಮೇಲೆ ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಯುವ ಜನಾಂಗ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ. ಅದನ್ನು ತಪ್ಪಿಸ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಬೀದಿ ನಾಟಕಗಳು ಪ್ರಭಾವ ಬೀರ್ತವೆ. ಸೊ ಅವುಗಳು ನಾವು ಬಳಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೇಬೇಕು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊನೆಯದಾಗಿ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದಷ್ಟೇ, ಬೀದಿ ರಂಗಭೂಮಿಯ ಅಂದರೆ ಪ್ರಚಾರ ಮಾಧ್ಯಮಗಳು ಹಲವಾರು ನಮ್ಮ ಕಣ್ಮುಂದೆ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಬೀದಿ ನಾಟಕ, ಜಾಗೃತಿ ಗೀತೆಗಳು, ಜಾಹೀರಾತು, ವೃತ್ತಪತ್ರಿಕೆಗಳು ಮತ್ತು ಮೀಡಿಯಾ, ಸಿನಿಮಾ, ಕಿರುತೆರೆ ಇಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರಕಾರಗಳಿದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ ಎಷ್ಟರ ಮಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಜಾಗೃತರಾಗಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಇವತ್ತಿಗೂ ನಮ್ಮ ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿಗಳನ್ನು ವೃದ್ಧಾಶ್ರಮ ಕಳಿಸ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಂದು ನಗರ ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತಿ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಳೆದು ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಆ ನಗರ ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತಿ ಗ್ರಾಮೀಣ ಸಂಪ್ರದಾಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಗಿದೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿಗಳನ್ನ ಅಣ್ಣ ತಮ್ಮರು ಜಗಳಾಡಿಕೊಂಡ್ರು, ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿ ದೂರ ಇದ್ರು ಕೂಡ ಒಂದೇ ಕ್ರಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಬಟ್ ನಗರ ಪ್ರದೇಶಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಆಶ್ರಮಗಳನ್ನು ಕಟ್ಟಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಅದನ್ನು ತಪ್ಪಿಸ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಬೀದಿ ನಾಟಕ ಬೇಕು ನಮಗೆ, ಅಥವಾ ಸಿನಿಮಾಗಳ ಮೂಲಕ ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಸಿನಿಮಾಗಳ ಮೂಲಕ. ಆದರೆ ಅಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಭಾವ ಮಾಧ್ಯಮವಾಗಿ ಬೀದಿ ರಂಗಭೂಮಿ ರೂಪುಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದು ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ CCK ಅವರು, ಪ್ರಸನ್ನ ಅವರು, ಬಸಲಿಂಗಯ್ಯ ಅವರು ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಈ ಬೀದಿ ನಾಟಕ ರಂಗ ಪರಂಪರೆಗೆ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಅವಕಾಶವನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿಕೊಟ್ರು. ಸೊ ಅಂಥವರ ಒಂದು ಆದರ್ಶಗಳೊಂದಿಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಸಂವಿಧಾನದ ಹಕ್ಕು ಮತ್ತು ಕರ್ತವ್ಯಗಳನ್ನು ನಾವು ಚಾಚು ತಪ್ಪದೆ ಪಾಲಿಸಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ. ನಮಗೆ ಮೇಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾಠ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರು ಪೊಲಿಟಿಕಲ್ ಸೈನ್ಸ್, ನಾವು HS ಸೋಷಿಯಾಲಜಿ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್. ಆ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಸರ್ 100ರಲ್ಲಿ ಸರ್ ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಸರ್ ಅವರು. ಅವ್ರ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ ನಾನು. ಅಂದರೆ ಅವ್ರು ಪಾಠ ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ನಮಗೆ. ಅದ್ರ ಪ್ರಭಾವದಿಂದ ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ನಾಟಕ ರೂಪಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಅಂದರೆ ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಶೈಲಿ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಇಡೀ ಪಾತ್ರಗಳನ್ನು ಕಟ್ಟಿಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು ಅವರು. ಸಮಾಜದ ಅಂಕುಟುಂಕುಗಳನ್ನ, ಸ್ಥಳ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆಗಳನ್ನ, ಮೇಲ್ವರ್ಗ, ಕೆಳವರ್ಗ, ಶ್ರಮಿಕ ಎಲ್ಲರ ಪರವಾಗಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಧ್ವನಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾವುದು ಬೀದಿ ನಾಟಕದ ಪರಂಪರೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸಮಾನತೆ, ಭಾವೈಕ್ಯತೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ದೇಶದ ಐಕ್ಯತೆ ಇಷ್ಟು ಅಂಶಗಳು ನಾವು ಬೀದಿ ನಾಟಕದ ಮೂಲಕ ಪ್ರದರ್ಶನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ಜಾತಿ ಧರ್ಮಗಳು ಬರೋದಲ್ಲ, ಎಲ್ಲರ ಪರವಾಗಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಧ್ವನಿ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ನಾವು ಸಂಘಟಿತರಾಗಿ ಹೇಗೆ ದೇಶವನ್ನು ಕಟ್ಟಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ, ಅಥವಾ ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೆ ಮತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮ ಗ್ರಾಮಗಳನ್ನು, ನಮ್ಮ ಜಿಲ್ಲೆಗಳನ್ನು ಹೇಗೆ ನಾವು ಕಟ್ಟಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ ಅನ್ನೋ ಅಂಶಗಳನ್ನು ನಾವು ಹಾಡಿನ ಮೂಲಕ, ನಾಟಕದ ಮೂಲಕ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಹೋದಾಗ ಬಹಳ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಪ್ರಭಾವ ಬೀರಕ್ಕೆ ಶುರುವಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಾಲಘಟ್ಟದಲ್ಲೂ ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಬಂದಾಗ ಅತಿ ವೇಗವಾಗಿ ಮುಟ್ಟಿದ್ದು ಬೀದಿ ನಾಟಕ ಮತ್ತು ರಂಗಭೂಮಿಯ ನಾಟಕಗಳೇ. ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಜನಪದ ರಂಗಭೂಮಿ ಅಂತ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ, ಜನಪದ ರಂಗಭೂಮಿಲಿ ಸಂಪ್ರದಾಯ, ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತಿ, ಇವತ್ತಿಗೆ ತೇರು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಗೌರಿ ಹುಣ್ಣಿಮೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಜೋಗನೋತ್ಸವ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ಯಾಕೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ವಿ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಒಗ್ಗಟ್ಟು, ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ. ಆ ಯೂನಿಟ್ಗೋಸ್ಕರ ಆಚರಣೆಗಳನ್ನು ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ. ಅಂದರೆ ಜನಪದ ಕೂಡ ಒಂದು ಬೀದಿ ರಂಗಭೂಮಿ ಪ್ರಭಾವನೆ. ಗ್ರೀಕ್ ರಂಗಭೂಮಿಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಒಂದು ದೇವತೆ ಆರಾಧನೆ ಸಲುವಾಗಿ ಹುಟ್ಟಿದ್ದದು. ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಪರಂಪರೆ ಕೊನೆಗೆ 3ನೇ ರಂಗಭೂಮಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಒಂದು ವೃತ್ತಿ, ಒಂದು ಒಂದು ಹವ್ಯಾಸಿ, ಒಂದು ಜನಪದ, ನಂತರ ಲಾಸ್ಟಿಗೆ ಬರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಬೀದಿ ರಂಗಭೂಮಿ. ಬೀದಿ ರಂಗಭೂಮಿ ಯಾವಾಗ ಬಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವಾಗ ಗ್ರಾಮಸ್ಥರು ಅಥವಾ ಜಾಗೃತಿ ಅನ್ಯಾಯಕ್ಕೊಳಗಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಜನರು ಮನೇಲೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು, ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಬರೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದು ಅವಮಾನಕ್ಕೆ ಬರೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲೋ ಅಥವಾ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಆ ಸ್ಥಳಗಳು ರೀಚ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೋ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಆದ್ರೆ ನಾವೇ ಅವ್ರ ಜೊತೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಸಾಂತ್ವನ ಹೇಳಿ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಧೈರ್ಯ ಮಾಡೋದಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಬೀದಿ ನಾಟಕದ ಮೂಲಕ ಮಾತ್ರ ಸಾಧ್ಯತೆ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಈ ನಿಟ್ಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಬೀದಿ ನಾಟಕದ ತರಬೇತಿಯನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಎಲ್ಲ ಶಾಲಾ ಕಾಲೇಜುಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರ ಮೂಲಕ ಅವರ ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟನ್ನು ರಂಗರೂಪ ಮಾಡಿ ನಾವು ಅವರಿಗೆ ಕಲಿಸೋದ್ರ ಮೂಲಕ ಮತ್ತೆ ಯುವಕರನ್ನ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಶಾಲಾ ಕಾಲೇಜುಗಳ ಹಂತದಿಂದಲೇ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ, ಸಂವಿಧಾನದ ಹಕ್ಕು ಮತ್ತು ಕರ್ತವ್ಯಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ನೀಡೋದ್ರ ಮೂಲಕ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಜಾಗೃತರ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ರಂಗ ತರಬೇತಿ ಬಹಳ ಅವಶ್ಯಕವಾಗಿ ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದು ಬೀದಿ ನಾಟಕ ಆದ್ರೆ ಸ್ಕಿಟ್ ಏನಾದರೂ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಅದ್ರ ಮೂಲಕ. ಸೊ ಹೀಗಾಗಿ ಇದು ನನ್ನ ವಿಷಯ. ಒಟ್ಟು ಪೂರ್ವಕಾಲದಿಂದ ಬೀದಿ ನಾಟಕಗಳ ಪರಂಪರೆ, ಜನಪದ ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತಿಯ ಪರಂಪರೆ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಅಗಾಧವಾಗಿ ಬೇರ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಅಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಪರಂಪರೆಯನ್ನ ನಾವು ಮುಂದುವರಿಸಬೇಕಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನಮಗೆ ಮುಂದಿನ ವಿಷನ್ಸ್ ದೇಶಕ್ಕೆ ಕಟ್ಟಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಕ್ರಿಯೆ ಬೇಕು. ಆ ಪ್ರಕ್ರಿಯೆಯನ್ನ ರಂಗಭೂಮಿಗಳ ಮೂಲಕ, ರಂಗ ಚಳುವಳಿ ಮೂಲಕ ನಾವು ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ. ಸಾಂಸ್ಕೃತಿಕವಾಗಿ ಮೃದು ವಾತಾವರಣ ನಿರ್ಮಾಣ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಹಾಡುಗಳನ್ನು ಆಡಬೇಕು, ನಾಟಕ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಡ್ಯಾನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಎಲ್ಲರ ಮೂಲಕ ಜಾಗೃತಿ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ನನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಈ ಒಂದು ಅವಕಾಶ ಮುಗಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಧನ್ಯವಾದ.
ವಿಜಯನಗರ ಸಾಮ್ರಾಜ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ದಿ ಫೇಮಸ್ ನಾಟಕ ಏನಪ್ಪ? ವಿಜಯನಗರ ಸಾಮ್ರಾಜ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಫೇಮಸ್ ನಾಟಕ ಏನು?
ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಷ್ಟ ಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳಿದ್ರು, 8 ಜನ ನಮಗೆ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ
ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಕಾರ್ಡ್ ನೇಮ್ ಇಸ್ ಯಕ್ಷಗಾನ.
ಯಕ್ಷಗಾನ ಬರಲ್ಲ, ನಮ್ಮದು ಬಯಲಾಟ ಬರ್ತದೆ.
ಬಯಲಾಟ ಮೀನ್ ಯಕ್ಷಗಾನ, ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಯಕ್ಷಗಾನ.
ಪಾರಿಜಾತಹರಣ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಬರ್ತದೆ.
ಬೀದಿ ನಾಟಕ. ಓಕೆ,
ಬೀದಿ ನಾಟಕ ಅಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ನಾಟಕ.
ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ನಾಟಕ, ಯಕ್ಷಗಾನ, ಬೋತ್ ಆರ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್.
ನಳದಮಯಂತಿ
ದ ಫೇಮಸ್ ನಾಟಕ.
ನಳದಮಯಂತಿ, ಪಾರಿಜಾತಹರಣ, ಉಷಾಹರಣ.
You have no mentioned the Yakshagana, that's why I am asking that.
Okay.
Yakshagana is famous in Andhra Pradesh, particularly in Rayalaseema. That's why I am asking the question.
Yes,
Yakshagana.
Okay, ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ವಿಜಯನಗರ ಸಾಮ್ರಾಜ್ಯ ಟೋಟಲ್ 28 ತಾಲೂಕುಗಳನ್ನ ಒಳಗೊಂಡಿತ್ತು ಸರ್. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದ ಪ್ರಭಾವ ಇತ್ತು. ಈಗ 5 ತಾಲೂಕಿಗೆ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಬಳ್ಳಾರಿ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಯಾವುದು ನಮ್ದು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಬಯಲಾಟ ಬಂದರೆ ನಮಗೆ ಉಳಿತು ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಯಕ್ಷಗಾನ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಉತ್ತರ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಕಡೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ, ದಕ್ಷಿಣ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ, ಕರಾವಳಿ, ಮಂಗಳೂರು ಆ ಭಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಕ್ಷಗಾನ.
ವಿಜಯನಗರ ಸಾಮ್ರಾಜ್ಯ
ಬಯಲಾಟ ಶಾಸನ ಇದೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಯಕ್ಷಗಾನ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಶಾಸನ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದೆ, ಈಗ ಕುರುಗೋಡ ಹತ್ರ 25 ಕಿಲೋಮೀಟರ್ ಇದೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದೆ ಸಮುದ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ಬಯಲಾಟ. ಆ ಶಾಸನದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಬಟ್ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಜನ್ಮ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿತ್ತು ದಕ್ಷಿಣ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದಲ್ಲಿ. ಉತ್ತರ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಈಗಲೂ ಅವೇ ಇದೆ. ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಐರಾವಣ, ಮೈರಾವಣ, ಸುಂದರ ಸುಂದರ, ರಾಮಾಯಣ ಎಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ಬಯಲಾಟ ಮಾತ್ರ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಸಾಕು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಈ ಚಂದ್ರ ನಾನು ದಾರೋ ನನ್ನ ನಾಮಾಗಿದ್ದ ಮುಂದೆ ಕೇಳುವ ನೀನು ಇದು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ನಿನಗೆ ನಾದಾರೆಂದು ತಿಳಿಯಲಿಲ್ಲವೇ ಓ ಈ ತರ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ರಂಗ ಇದೆ. ಜನಪದ ಹೇಳಿದೆ ನಾವೇ. ಜನಪದ ರಂಗಭೂಮಿ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಪ್ರಕಾರಗಳನ್ನ ನಾವು ಟಚ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ವಿಧಿವಿಧಾನಗಳನ್ನ, ಆಚರಣೆಗಳನ್ನ ನಾವು ಬೀದಿ ರೂಪಕ್ಕೆ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಸೊ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು ನಾವು ಯಾವಾಗ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಜಾಗೃತರಾಗಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ರಂಗಭೂಮಿ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ಅವಶ್ಯಕವಾಗಿ ಬೇಕು. ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಇದಕ್ಕಿದ್ದಂಗೆ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಮೋಟಿವೇಶನ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿದ್ರು ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾಕೆ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಎಚ್ಚರಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಎಚ್ಚರ ಆಗ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು, ಎಚ್ಚರಗೊಳಿಸ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಧ್ವನಿ. ಆ ಧ್ವನಿ ರಂಗಭೂಮಿ ಮೂಲಕ ಸಾಧ್ಯ. ಸೊ ಆ ತರ ಧ್ವನಿಯನ್ನ ನಾವು ರಂಗಭೂಮಿ ಕಲ್ತ್ಕೋಬೇಕಂತ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂಡ ತಾವು ತಮ್ಮ ತಮ್ಮ ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾಲಯಗಳಲ್ಲಿ, ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಕಾಲೇಜುಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನಾಟಕ ವಿಭಾಗವನ್ನ ಹಿರಿಯೋದ್ರ ಮೂಲಕ ಮತ್ತೆ ನಾನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾಟಕ ವಿಭಾಗದ ಅತಿಥಿ ಉಪನ್ಯಾಸಕನ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಕೃಷ್ಣ, ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ.
ಇತ್ತೀಚಿನ ದಿನಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಸೋಷಿಯಲ್ ಮೀಡಿಯಾ, ಫೇಸ್ಬುಕ್, ವಾಟ್ಸಪ್ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರಚಾರ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ಬೋದು. ಈಗ ಫಿಲಿಂ ಥಿಯೇಟರ್ಗಳೇ ಬಂದಾಗ್ತಾ ಇರೋ ಒಂದು ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಸರ್ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಕೋಆಪರೇಟ್ ಸೆಷನ್ ಎಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ ಸರ್. ಸರ್, ಇತ್ತೀಚಿನ ದಿನಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಸೋಷಿಯಲ್ ಮೀಡಿಯಾ, ಫೇಸ್ಬುಕ್, ವಾಟ್ಸಪ್, ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರಚಾರ ನಡೀತಾ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಫಿಲಿಂ ಥಿಯೇಟರ್ಗಳೇ ಬಂದಾಗ್ತಾ ಇರುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಈ ಒಂದು ಬೀದಿ ನಾಟಕಗಳನ್ನ ಇಷ್ಟು ಜನ ನೋಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಪ್ರಚಾರ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಅದನ್ನ ಪ್ರಸ್ತುತದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಬೆಳೆಸಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಕಾರ, ಅದನ್ನ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ನಾವು ಮೋಟಿವೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ? ಥಿಯೇಟರ್ಗಳಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಜನಗಳೀಗ.
ಫೇಸ್ಬುಕ್ಕು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಈ ರೀಲ್ಸು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ವಾಟ್ಸಪ್ಪು, ಈ ಮೀಡಿಯಾಗಳು ಏನಿದಾವಲ್ಲ, ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ಮೀಡಿಯಾಗಳು ಅವು ನಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಯಾರು ಉದ್ಧಾರ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ. ಅವು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್, ಅದು ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ನೋಡಿದ ಕ್ಷಣದಲ್ಲ ಮತ್ತೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಚಂಚಲತೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರ್ತಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ಚಲನಶೀಲತೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಫೇಸ್ಬುಕ್ಗಳು ಯಾವ ರೀಚ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಫೇಸ್ಬುಕ್ಕಲ್ಲಿ ರೀಚ್ ಆಗೋದು ಯಾವುದಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಕಾಮಶಾಸ್ತ್ರ ಒಂದೇ ರೀಚ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ 1 ತಾಸು ನೋಡ್ತಾನೆ ನಾವು. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಯಾವುದು ರೀಚ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅದು ರೀಚ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಉಳಿಕೆಲ್ಲ ಡಿಲೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಬಟ್ ರಂಗಭೂಮಿಲಿ ಹಂಗಲ್ಲ. ಒಂದು ದಿನ ನಾಟಕ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ 100 ದಿನ ನೆನಪಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ನಮಗೆ. ಅದು ನಮ್ಮನ್ನ ಪ್ರತಿಕ್ಷಣ ಎಚ್ಚರ ಕೊಡಿಸ್ತದ್ದು. ನಮ್ಮ ಹಾಡಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ನಮ್ಮ ಧ್ವನಿ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ನಮ್ಮ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು. ಆದರೆ ಇವತ್ತು ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಲ್ಗಳಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಸಿನಿಮಾ ಟಾಕೀಸ್ಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಲ್ಗಳಾಗ್ತದೆ. ಅವು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಜನರಿಗೆ ಸೋಮಾರಿಗಳನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರು ಹುಡುಕಾಟ ಮಾಡೋದು ಬೇಡ, ಸಿನಿಮಾ ನೋಡಿ ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಮನೆಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸಮಯವನ್ನ ಕಡಿತಗೊಳಿಸಿ ನಮಗೆ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದನ್ನ ಸಮಾಜ ಕೊಡೋಕೆ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಬೀದಿ ನಾಟಕ ಕೂಡ ಮಾಲ್ ಮುಂದೆನೇ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವು ನಾವು.
Sir, thank you, sir. Now I request my session chairperson Jayant Bora sir, please summarize and conclude the session, sir.
So, a very insightful session. Almost 7 to 8 papers were presented on Vision Viksit Bharat. The theme was on legal pluralism by sitting here. I could fortunately enjoy the linguistic project. So, it was very nice to hear. Unfortunately, some of the things, vital aspects, I could not relate to but yeah, next time if I come, then I'll definitely try to learn this language. This language is very smooth, and today in the morning only I was discussing with one of my senior fellow that anyway, the papers that were discussed starting from this chili cultivation. Yes, once when I was here, recently I was searching YouTube and I came to know in Karnataka that chili cultivation has a very big potential for export, but due to some unforeseen reasons, it is not being promoted to that extent. So the next paper, that was an economic interpretation of export. I think this type of things can be interdisciplinary studied, so that how we can encourage export in this, if it has so much of potential in any particular product. And what we have seen here, a very interesting aspect, that the street drama or art forms that have been used to display. Although I might not understand the true meaning of the papers, but looking at the thing, I can realize that it is of disseminating information through art forms, and that is very important, because learning only inside the classroom, I don't think will be very much better for the future. So whatever has been discussed, I think are very important aspects of overall development have been discussed, and seminars like this or technical sessions within seminars like this are going to be very much handful or handy in knowing ourselves and in criticizing our own mistakes or misinformation, so that we can rejuvenate our traditional history or glory, and then we can move towards a better future. It's not only about 2047. If today only we can start towards a new innovation by shaping our knowledge. We have the biggest advantage of having diversity is that we have solutions of every kind to any problem that we are going to face as Indians. So this is something which, instead of breaking us into different sections, we should think of how we can accommodate different solutions from different sections of Indian population and can move towards like a unified population without compromising anyone's cultural identity or by protecting the diversity. That's what I believe sessions like this will definitely contribute towards overall development of each and every individual of the country. That's all. Thank you. And this session was a very nice one.
Sir, any questions regarding all papers? Okay, sir.